Hi, I'm Vanda from Loki Loves, and I'm here with Russell Larke. He's team leader of horticulture at Cranbourne Gardens, and he's got an amazing project he's going to tell us about with Raising Rarity, working with Fame. So, hi Russell, how are you doing?
Hey Vanda, how you going? Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for being here. So, Russell, tell me a little bit about what your role entails at Cranbourne Gardens.
Yeah, so I'm currently the team leader of horticulture at Cranbourne Gardens. So we've got a team of 10 horticulturalists who look after the living collections down at Cranbourne. So my role is to coordinate the work for the group, but we're heavily involved in native plant conservation, and we're especially focused on Southeast Australian species. So I've partnered with Dr Meg Hirst, who is a seed scientist down in Melbourne, and we've come up with a program called Raising Rarity, which is super exciting. So basically, this is a program where we're looking at introducing rare and threatened Victorian flora into cultivation. So we've identified a whole suite of species that have really good horticultural attributes, and we wanted to expand on that and be able to bring them to the general public. So what we're doing is we're trialing all of these threatened species, measuring things like flowering time, growth habit. We're looking at pests and diseases and identifying particular selections that are presenting as really good garden plants, and then trying to make these accessible for the general public. So basically, there's probably 3 or 4 different objectives to this project. Primarily, we want to raise awareness about our threatened flora in Victoria and provide an avenue to be able to educate people and help them understand that there are a lot of pressures on our native flora. Secondly, we want to be able to provide an avenue for people to actually get involved in something and get their hands dirty and feel like they're making a difference. So, we had a pilot program last year, a plant sale where people could come down and purchase some of these plants, and that money goes back into our conservation programs. But that was really well received. I think being able to walk away with a plant and for someone to go home and say, hey, I learned about this species, talk to your neighbour about the plight of these species, and then hold one at home, I think is a really nice aspect of the project. And also we're kind of reaching out to school groups as well. We've got a pilot program where a couple of schools are going to be growing these rare and threatened plants. And then, look, ultimately, we want to build a network and a community of people who are engaged in Victorian plant conservation, and hopefully, raise some funds to be able to put back into the conservation programs at the garden. So it's been super exciting and really, really well received so far, which is great.
That's wonderful. I love the project, and I'm really, as anybody that knows me knows, that I'm really into trying to get into conservation and helping out. You can even help out just your immediate environment with this. So I get my words all mixed up, because you're bringing something into your garden, and I think when I spoke to you a while back, we were talking about Silver Princess. Eucalypts. No one's ever seen them in the wild.
Exactly.
They're in everybody's garden, but they're not out there. So it really does make a difference. And to be able to, expand on the DNA of that species, as well as, cultivate it and enjoy it in your own garden is huge.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, people can get more involved by coming to Cranbourne Gardens and actually seeing these plants in a setup that you've got there.
Yeah, so we've got a research garden that's dedicated to trialling these plant species at the moment. So we've probably got 15 to 20 selections cycling through that garden where we're taking measurements and assessing their horticultural attributes. But you can come down, wander around, have a look at these species, maybe pick a few that you want to get for the plant sale later in the year. We're going to have another plant sale just because of the success of last year, probably around October this year. So, and look, I just wanted to touch on a point that you made. Behind just selling these species is a whole bunch of work going on, on ground practical conservation measures. So basically, this has come from the work that we do. So we get out there and we survey these plants, we collect these species, we bring them in to store them at the Victorian Conservation Seed Bank. We do conservation genetics works on them. So we look at, trying to trying to build, you know, genetic and geographic representation of these species, especially at-risk species. We've done a lot of work with bushfire recovery, and we've got a whole crew of people behind the scenes. You know, what you see is just a single beautiful plant, but there's a whole lot of people working behind the scenes to get it to that point. So yeah, I think that's a really important aspect of the project that people were really interested to hear about when they came down for. We had a couple of tours and things like that last year, and they enjoyed getting behind the curtain and actually really understanding what it is that we're doing beyond being able to take your pretty grevillea home, you know. Yeah,
I love that. It's all about getting involved. And you know, when the more you find out about species, the more you fall in love with them, the more you want to do. And the community aspect's so important with this. So I absolutely love that, and I'm so looking forward to working with you over the next few weeks to get this blog series out and meet some of the key people working with FAME as well.
Yeah,
it's going to be really exciting.
It's going to be great, Vanda. And I just want to say, you know, our relationship happened quite organically. You know, we met at a National Eucalypt Day. And it was just a couple of passionate people having a chat. And I think the Raising Rarity project, the thing that surprised us most is the interest in it, you know. And we've had artists, we've had fellow conservationists, we've had local friends groups, we've had, you know, all sorts of people come through and want to get involved. And it is about building that network of people, and you know, and a lot of the time it does just happen the way our relationship was built, you know, talking about rare and threatened plants and, you know, wanting to save the world and all that sort of stuff. So no, I'm really looking forward to working with you. It's going to be great.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today. I really do appreciate it. And I'll be speaking to you soon.
Thanks, Vanda. Take it easy.